What's going on, guys? My name is Sully from ATOG Gaming. This video is going to touch on some real-world tactics that we've applied to Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. If you like the video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to keep up with all the latest milsim action. Stay frosty and enjoy. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start by just taking a walk. So, Tarak, go ahead and fill me in on what you know about formations.
Not a whole lot. I know that there's diamond formation, so point man.
Oh no!
Who
did that?
This guy.
Diamond, the only one that I really know is diamond formation.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to
okay.
press that.
It's
I was trying to
HVT
make sure
usually sticks in the middle.
reload. I was trying to reload.
HVT's in the middle. You got a point man. You got a. I'm not really sure what they're called exactly for position-wise, but you usually get a high-value target in the middle. You got a point man. You got a rear guy, and you got a guy on each side. So.
All right, yeah, cool.
Wolf,
just like
Wolf,
a diamond.
you brought
so,
us in here, and why aren't you hitting the whole break camp thing? I'm sorry. Let's just get ourselves out of here.
All right, so that is one purpose for diamond formation, yes. Another good purpose for diamond formation is if you're getting pushed from all sides, you're putting all your lines of sight in different directions, so no two operators are looking at the same place. It gives you the highest area of overall
area
coverage.
coverage. Yes. That's what I found weird about the diamond formation in the chart. But there was 3 guys looking at one direction and 1 guy looking backwards. I didn't really, how you call it, approve of that. But...
It's pretty much you don't want to cross your line of sight with any other individual.
Of course.
You guys can all be looking forward, but you don't always you don't all want to be looking direct forward at the same direction. You want to put your side guys, canted out between 90 to 100 degrees past.
Basically north, south, east, west coverage.
Yeah, pretty much. Cool. So we don't overly get into all the different formations. Most team leads are hitting basic ones.
Supposed to be in the back.
So, column is very common. It's literally
Get up
just
there, Wolf.
it's just a literal.
Am I supposed to be 4th man?
Follow the leader type line, basically.
Follow the leader.
It's a
I'm-
single
I'm
file
backing
line.
up the rear. Yep.
You can
It's like
typically
hustle. Go.
this type of environment you want to keep it tight, just because you have the foliage, real tight compact trees, shit like that. But in any formation, you can open it up. You can take up like combat spread, split it, like spread it out, 15 to 20 meters. You get a little bit of variation. Another big one is staggered column. That is when every other operator, so like the 2nd and the 4th operator, they shift over to the right. So you're walking in kind of like a staggered square.
Zigzag, basically.
Yep, and that's something that you want to keep kind of at a relatively wider pace. It's really good for moving down urban type streets, shit like that. So for now, as we're walking, go ahead and bring it in column. All right, break it out staggered column. All right, cool. All right, so as you're just moving, what are the first what considerations should you be making as you're moving through any type of environment?
Surroundings.
All right, cool. Particularly cover and concealment.
Cover. Well,
if
I may add, usually when I look around for my surroundings, I look out for safe places to escape if need be, or evacuate, I guess. Surroundings, enemies, camouflage locations, so hidden environments, like blending in, so it gives you a little bit more cover. That's just at least my knowledge. So I know that when I have buddies that were in the law enforcement or military, where they, I always notice that they eyeball like inside the restaurants, for example. Like they always, just randomly just come up to me and they're like, "Yeah, there's 13 cameras in the store, or like you got 4 exits,
Yep,
whatever.
it's
So
just it's situational awareness. Know what's going on around you at all times, and have a plan. So standing here, if we're to take cover right now, first move for me is I'm taking this rock, and we're gonna bring everybody up online, which is gonna be the next formation. Uh, Anytime you get the order issued to come online, everybody makes a it's a shoulder to shoulder, but at a combat spread line horizontally, and you establish a base of fire forward typically, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have your 2 guys on the end, obviously protecting your flanks, and you're
Mm-hmm.
engaging from a
Yep.
firing line. Hence, come
Yep.
online. Um, Moving forward with that, which let me get everybody up online for now. We'll get you to shift up on my right side. Where
We're
we at?
missing a guy.
Well, Solo, where you at?
You're left heavy.
I'll take your word that you're over there. Anyway, so another big thing is responding to contact. Uh, Typically, as you're moving, when you respond to contact, if you see a target, you will enunciate, "Hey, contact," and the direction, contact front. Um, that is just so everybody in the team knows that you're taking contact and you're coming to a halt. That doesn't mean everybody in the element needs to fucking look front, because you always have to have a guy covering your rear, and you have to have your sides
Exactly.
covered. So same thing for your second guy. He's typically going to see and call contact right. Third is typically going to do the contact left, and then you have your rear guy for contact rear. So whenever contact is called, you get small. Whether that's hitting the dirt, whether it's getting in cover and getting low, whatever situation you're in, respond accordingly. Um, So moving forward, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to move up this field, and we're going to go move up towards the ridge line. As we move, keep in mind you want to consider cover and concealment. Now, concealment doesn't just consist of bushes. You can use the terrain to your advantage too. So that's moving inside of ridges, behind hills, things like that. Keeping in mind that, yeah, it's a video game, but if you're trying to hit that element of realism, if you can see them, they can see you. Um, Typically, real world, the best type of response that you get when you take contact, or when you see a contact who is, maybe not looking in your direction, be aware that he's there, and if he looks your direction, the phrase goes, "I'm up, they see me, I'm down." So as you're moving up on the guy, if he looks your way, he sees me, I'm down, and then it's literally just drop flat. Um, so this particular area, you got pretty decent concealment, but sight lines are pretty open. When you cross this, what you're doing is you're crossing a LDA, a land dangerous area. So what we'll do is typically at the start you're going to post up 2 guys, one facing both directions, so that way you have both of your sides covered, and you're going to send 2 up the middle to make your movements. Um, Typically you're going to move somewhere between like 15 and 30 meters or so. Um, Stop, post. They'll let you know that they're set, and then the next 2 will go, and you're pretty much just going to leapfrog all the way across your LDA. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Wolf and Solo, let me get you guys to post.
Permission to speak.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you seen the show SWAT, right?
Uh,
I don't know if you've
okay.
seen it, but in SWAT, the one they do like this, right? Right, they go like this, and then looking at an area. I seen the guy go, "Give me 2," and somebody comes up from behind, taps the shoulder, and then he continues. Right? Isn't that something you guys practice on here?
It all depends on your fire team leader's discretion. That is a possibility too. It's
Mm.
the different types. It's different types of Overwatch. So typically, you want to have um, a movement team or a movement element, and then you have
Mhm.
your support or your Overwatch. You're
Mhm.
going to have one group of dudes that's holding position, ready to fire and engage, and another that moves. The same concept if you're taking fire. If you get into a firefight, you're typically going to have 2 guys that post up and engage with the enemy, while you have another 2 that should be moving or shifting, so that you can gain the upper hand in the situation.
Okay. Okay.
What you're specifically talking about is more or less a a bump Overwatch, or yeah, it's typically a bump. So the way a bump works is, you get your guy that's going to come up. He'll be facing the direction, and it's a little bit challenging in game, but the guy that's behind you is going to come up and just say set so that I know you're set.
Okay. Okay.
And then once you're set on the corner watching Overwatch, I'll move up. And that's called a bump.
Okay.
And it's essentially literally just because you're bumping me out.
Okay.
So
okay. It's basically pinpoints of the different maps. Okay.
So the bound, in comparison, what that is you're going to have a single individual post up, and the rest of the team is going to move past him.
Okay.
It all depends on what exactly you're trying to achieve. Yeah, it's operator discretion, team discretion, and what suits best the operation. For right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you two post up. Solo, let me get you on my left. Wolf, I'll get you on my right.
Okay.
And then to Rock, what we'll do is once they're set and covering, we'll go ahead and we'll move up, and then we'll post. So you guys set?
Yep, set.
Set.
All right, with me. All right. Now that I'm here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get low, get in concealment, and I'm going to let them know, hey, set. And I'll be looking left. Now, what you should be doing is you should be looking right. So that way, both of us are facing opposite directions, which gives us the greater area of coverage. What you want to do is you want to bump out a little bit away from me, so you give them almost like a tunnel to run through. That way, nobody's crossing muzzle, so there's no accidental clips or misfires or anything like that. So go ahead and give them a little bit of space. All right, we're set. You guys can move. Now they'll run right between the two of us, move up another, 15, 20 meters, whatever it is, and they'll post, and they'll let us know when they're set so that we can stop tracking targets. And as soon as they give us the set call out, we'll break and we'll dip up towards their direction.
Set.
All right, set.
And break and go. Which... You guys still moving up the hill? I don't see you.
You just ran past us.
All right, good to go. Then we're set.
All right, set.
Set.
And this time we'll just go ahead and we'll link up on them.
Set.
All set. I got one. Where's my two? Are you guys on the other side of this hill?
Yeah, they're on the other side.
All right, we'll go ahead and we'll walk out into the open area. So that's typically the way you're going to end up crossing an LDA.
Okay.
First priority is always going to be hard cover. If you can get it, it's preferable. If you don't have hard cover, you want to stick to concealment the best that you can. And if neither of those is an option, it's literally get from where you are to where you need to be as quickly as possible, and make the transitions that you need to make.
Yep.
So the tactical peel is kind of the same concept with the leapfrog. The only difference is after you've taken contact, it's a tactical way in which you and your team can fall back where everybody is maintaining contact and maintaining coverage. So what will happen is we'll come up here in the open a little bit more, and let me get everybody to come up online. So let me get you on the left. All right, so the light post here, right to our 12 o'clock, that's going to be our simulated contact. So we take contact, and we're going to start engaging with our enemy. All right. So as we engage, what's going to happen is we're going to initiate a peel. So we're going to have to fall back. So what's going to happen is while we're covering, first guy on the right, you're going to go ahead and peel back. So drop back 10, 15 meters, just like we did before, set, and then engage that position again. Let us know when you're set, and then I'll peel back behind you. And pretty much we'll flake off like that.
Okay, it's a reverse thing, okay.
All right,
And it's
set.
Starting my peel. Now, the only thing you want to be cognizant of here is as you're falling back, you don't want to cross your teammate's muzzle because you don't want any accidental hits. I'm set. You're good to fall back. To rock, that's you. You're good to drop back.
Yep, I can't see the target anymore. Set.
Good.
No eyes
Yeah.
on target.
That's
So-
more or less the basic concept, though. Makes
Yep.
sense?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. All right, so keeping in mind kind of those principles, we're going to go ahead and we're going to come down here and we'll do the same basic thing. Solo, you're with me. Let me get you to help me set up on this ridge. And what I'm going to have you two do is the archway on the right-hand side. I'm going to have you guys go ahead and move over to that.
Okay, roger that.
So what we've effectively done here is you have Solo and I set up as your Overwatch element. So if we see targets, we're going to engage targets while you two are moving. Moving is your priority, engaging is Art's priority. You just have to keep an open line of communication so when you guys get to where you're going, you can begin engaging, and we can then shift our position while you put fire on the enemy.
Alright, set.
That.
All right, we're coming to you. You're good. So once we're here, again, this is where you get into your differences between the bump and the bound. It's team discretion. It's whatever's needed. So typically, what I'll do right now is you guys are already set and you're already monitoring. So what I'll do is I'll have the two of you cover, and we would bound past you. That's just my preference as an operator and as a team lead.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and we'll move up. I'm going to set up here on this position, try to give myself some hard cover and elevation. I have contact front, which we're going to be engaging the silhouettes in here as we go. All right, contact down. Additional contact left.
Contact
down. All right, you guys go ahead, and I have a set of 3 buildings on our left-hand side. Go ahead and move up towards the middle one while we engage with targets.
Set.
That.
So let's break left behind them. So what we want to do is, me personally, I'm going to go ahead and move left around this compound. That way we can kind of stick to cover. We can get lines of sight on the compound, and nobody's crossing anybody else's muzzle. And we're engaging with targets as we go. So we're going to go ahead and keep doing that just down towards we'll say the end of these buildings. So I got contact left. We're set and cover, engaging. You're good to move.
Where do you want us to move to?
Keep shifting left. All right, so with you guys moving in front of us, you at the very least want to let us know where you're at so that,
Okay.
we don't get shot. And typically you're going to be like, all right, we're crossing muzzle. Obviously,
okay.
your first option or your better choice is going to be to move behind our position. But if what you're doing is the best that you got, do it. Just make sure that your team knows you're crossing in front so they don't catch a stray round.
All right, set.
Set.
All right, let's move. All right, does that all make sense? Is everybody comfortable with that, or do you want to keep pushing down?
I think I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, got it.
All right. Go ahead and follow me around this corner here. All right. Talk to me about room clearing. What do you know?
Corners, for sure.
Corners is solid. What else?
Wait, does it only for him or is it?
I mean, from my experience, like I have seen point man goes in, clears left, second point man goes in, clears right, and then calls out clear if the room is clear.
Also understand angles of exposure to the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
For instance, let's say that this wall, let's say that the wall extends out here.
Closer that you are, I know that you're
Um,
easier to be seen, but if you're
yeah.
laid back further, it's harder for
But,
them to
but
see you.
here's the thing though, let's say this wall extends, that's where I am, right? As I'm approaching, I have zero exposure to the room. As I approach, I start to expose myself to the room. The room starts to open up. As the room opens up, that's me constantly clearing that angle. I get up here, and remember though too, it's like you have that corner all the way back in there that I have not yet cleared. But as I move over, I'm constantly clearing that room as I'm looking down. Eventually, I just kind of like get myself in there, and eventually, what happens is I'm gonna have to pick a corner, right? If I'm here, I could tell I could tell right now if there's a guy right there or not. I could see Chris light as day. But if there's no one there and I have not cleared that corner in the back, I'm gonna shift. I'm gonna try to clear that corner, and then I'm gonna move in
I
as
have a
well.
question.
That's a very good way to clear room.
I have a
Another thing.
question though.
Hold on. Another thing to do is if you have a team with you, what you do is you divide the room. First man takes the far corner. So let's say Chris and I are let's say Chris is to my left. So why don't you come to my left, Chris? If it's just Chris and I, the first guy in is going to take the far corner to the left. So what I'm going to do is once I go in, I'm going to come in. I'm going to instantly clear this corner. Okay, get my gun there, make sure that there's no one there, and then practically divide this room in half. Chris has the right half, I have the left half. So I clear the corner and the left half. Chris clears the right corner and the right half. And that's generally how that works, though, too. Remember, when it comes to room clearing in CQC, it's really about concealment and angles, and knowing your angles, knowing your exposure into the room, and also knowing how to manipulate the angles and the exposure so that you always will have the upper hand while it comes to clearing the room.
Hold up
So
for
at
a
the
second,
same,
Solo. What's your question?
Like I heard from real like Marines, like real soldiers, they say when you like the hallways, right? You know how you have like those thin hallways where you had like a room like on each side, like
Uh-huh.
zigzag formation. I heard that they like really said that you shouldn't like be close to the wall, closest to the room, like you are right now, Chris. Like you shouldn't be like that because if you were to cross that doorway into where Solo is at, they could easily grab your gun and you're down basically.
Yeah.
Let's say keep
So
away from it, away
I'm gonna
from the
have
wall.
you. I got 2 points for you. So, um, yes, typically you don't want to be like super up on the wall with your rifle, and then you don't want to like hang your
Hmm.
rifle over the side because they will fucking
Yeah,
grab it. So, keeping in mind your rifle barrel length. Also, you
yeah.
have a pistol that you can rely on. But typically coming up, I'm gonna try to check as far back in that corner as I
Hmm.
can, and I know that Solo's looking in this corner as far as he can. So I'll probably pie it, get an idea of what I'm walking into, and then as we go in, what I'm doing is I check immediately the back corners where I can't see, put my back to wall, and then I revolve around the corners, kind of just like it's a circle. And you do
Okay.
that from room to room. It gives you the most coverage that you can possibly get. Now, keep in mind also that when you come up on the door, you're flashing the shit out of it first.
Of course.
Um,
Always.
and you're always kind of like getting an idea. You can get a decent idea of what the layout of a room is going to look like based off of how it appears on the exterior. Um, so knowing that this is a straight wall that I'm on, and there's no other rooms on this side, I know that when we kick this door, whoever's on that left side is going to be able to look and see all the way to the end of the room. So I know that that back corner is clear. So my priority is going to be the left corner because that's going to be the easiest place to hide when you come into this building. Um, Keeping in mind also that we have a 4-man fire team, we can send another group of guys to the the other door over here if we chose to. It just means that we would have to be a little bit extra cautious
Hmm.
so that we don't have
Hmm.
blue on blue.
yeah.
So let me get 3 of you to stack on that side. I'll stack on this side, and we'll actually we'll pop flash and clear. The other thing to keep in mind is the window. So if I got you stacked, you don't want to be standing up in front of the window because it's a good way to get fucking shot. You guys clearing from that side?
Yeah, copy. Hold on. Oh, my guy has a mind of his own now. Alright.
Am I going on their side or staying with you?
Staying with him.
You're fine. We've already split off 2 and 2. Okay, so we would go ahead and kick the door. So if you're the first guy up, you would more or less kick the door. I'm going to put the flash in. So flash out. You're going to be the first man through the door. Clear that corner.
Sure.
And I'm right behind you. Room clear. Building clear.
Okay.
So yeah, you do it room by room. Room clear. Next room clear. Next room clear. And then once you've cleared everything, building clear. And that's typically how that works.
Usually you say like right side, right, or left side clear, like just in case you guys are. Let's say the rooms aren't important, right? You're going down one long hallway. Your destination's at the end of the hallway, but you have rooms in between, so you guys don't take too long, right? Each room.
Yeah, you're
Gotcha.
declaring your area of responsibility
Okay.
clear, and
Okay.
then once you hear right clear, left clear,
Yeah.
center clear, room is
Yeah.
clear, then you move to the
Yeah.
next room,
Okay.
and you do that room by room until the building is
Mhm.
cleared.
Yeah.
So, does everyone on the fire team need to run flashbangs then?
Nope.
Not particularly. It's just the guy that has them is going to be one of the first dudes stacked on the door. Not necessarily the first dude through it, but he's going to be at least in a position where he's going to be tossing it. But that's pretty much the basics.
Hone your skills. Look, boy, you in the danger room.